Welcome everyone! In this episode, join us as we follow a young man on his incredible journey to build hidden forest shelters. Let's discover how he brings these unique homes to life, step by step. Get ready to be inspired. The very first shelter he decides to build is a cozy wooden cabin nestled on the side of a gently sloping hillside. He gathers a collection of wooden beams, carefully selecting each piece to prepare for the construction ahead. With these materials in hand, he's ready to start building the framework that will form the backbone of his forest shelter. Despite the challenge posed by the uneven terrain, he begins by carefully constructing a sturdy floor frame. This frame will serve as the foundation, leveling out the ground beneath and providing a stable, flat surface to build the rest of the house. He began by erecting sturdy wooden posts, carefully securing them by tying them to sturdy tree trunks around them. Once the posts are in place, he starts connecting long wooden beams, meticulously aligning them to form the skeleton of the shelter dot. To make sure each beam fits perfectly and stays securely in position, he carves precise joints at both ends of the beams. These carefully crafted connections allow the beams to interlock tightly with one another, creating a durable framework that can withstand the elements. Every cut and notch is measured and shaped with great care, ensuring that the entire frame works as a solid, unified whole. Through this blend of skill and patience, the foundation of his forest retreat begins to take shape, blending craftsmanship with nature. Once the frame is firmly in place, he begins laying wooden planks across the floor structure. Carefully positioning each plank side by side, he covers the entire surface to create a solid, seamless floor. With the floor now solid and ready, he moves on to constructing the walls of his shelter. He selects long wooden beams, just like those used for the floor frame, and meticulously carves precise joints at both ends of each beam. These carefully shaped joints are crucial. They allow the beams to fit together snugly and securely, ensuring the structure will be strong and durable. He begins stacking the beams horizontally, layering them one on top of another. As he builds, he uses a traditional technique of staggering the joints overlapping the ends of the beams in alternating layers to create an interlocking pattern. This method not only reinforces the strength of the walls, but also helps seal gaps, keeping the shelter well insulated and protected against wind and rain. To further secure the beams as he stacks them, he uses wooden pegs to fasten the layers together. These pegs act like natural pins, locking the beams in place and preventing any shifting or movement. This traditional technique adds extra stability to the walls, ensuring the entire structure remains strong and resilient over time. Bit by bit, the walls grow higher, their wooden layers forming a solid, enclosed space. Each beam locks firmly into place, and the structure begins to take shape, slowly transforming from a simple frame into a sturdy, weather-resistant refuge nestled in the forest. With every beam added, his vision of a safe, welcoming shelter comes closer to reality, built with skill, patience, and respect for the natural materials surrounding him. As he carefully raises the walls, he never forgets to cut out openings for the door. Using a saw, he precisely carves out rectangular gaps in the wooden beams, creating the necessary spaces for entrances and ventilation. With each careful and deliberate movement, he lifts and positions every beam with precision. Step by step, the walls gradually climb higher, their structure growing stronger and more stable. As the beams stack and lock together, the walls begin to take shape, standing firm against the forest around them, promising safety and shelter from the elements. He builds the front and back walls taller and gradually tapers them as they rise, shaping them into sharp peaks. This clever design forms the roof's ridge, giving the shelter a distinctive pointed rooftop. He also added skylights during construction to let in light from above. After shaping the two triangular peaks at the front and back walls, he carefully joins them together, connecting the ridges to form the main spine of the roof. With the frame securely in place, he takes a saw and meticulously trims away any excess wood, smoothing out rough edges and ensuring the lines are clean and precise. He carefully gathers a fresh supply of wooden beams, preparing to cover the roof and shield the shelter from the elements. Before placing the beams, he first unrolls a large sheet of durable nylon, stretching it tightly across the entire roof frame. This nylon layer acts as a critical waterproof barrier, preventing rain and moisture from seeping through and protecting the wooden structure beneath. Once the waterproof layer is secured, he begins placing the wooden beams vertically, aligning them from the peak of the roof all the way down to the sidewalls. Each beam is positioned closely against the next, with no gaps in between, creating a continuous protective shield. The beams overlap slightly, forming a solid and weather-resistant exterior that completely covers the inner framework. To ensure the walls are well insulated and protected from the elements, he gathers soft green moss from the forest floor. Carefully, he stuffs the moss into every gap and crevice between the wooden beams that make up the walls. This natural material acts as an excellent sealant, filling spaces that could let in cold air, moisture, or even small insects. He begins by carefully selecting and preparing the wooden beams needed for each component of the bed. With focused attention, he measures and cuts the wood to the exact lengths required for the legs, frame, and supports. Each piece is smoothed and shaped as needed to ensure a perfect fit. Inside, he methodically assembles the bed, starting with the sturdy frame. Using traditional joinery techniques and wooden pegs, He secures each beam firmly in place, creating a solid foundation. His hands move with practiced skill and care, transforming rough timber into a dependable, handcrafted bed. He also crafts and installs a wooden door perfectly sized to fit the entrance of the shelter. Carefully measuring the doorway, he shapes the door to ensure a snug and secure fit. With steady hands, he attaches sturdy hinges and fastens the door firmly in place. This wooden barrier not only provides privacy and protection, but also completes the shelter's sense of home, standing as a welcoming gateway between the inside refuge and the forest beyond. He covers the window with a sheet of clear nylon, carefully stretching it tight to seal off the opening. This transparent barrier allows light to enter while protecting the interior from wind and rain. Once the window is securely sealed, he collects fresh pine needles from the forest floor and spreads them evenly across the floor inside the shelter. He carefully selects and arranges flat stones to create a solid, heat-resistant base for the stove inside the shelter. He installs the stove itself, fitting it securely in place. This functional addition transforms the shelter into a comfortable living space, ready to provide warmth and a means to cook meals in the heart of the forest. He did not forget to add insulation and a chimney to penetrate the roof to help the smoke escape. Once the house is complete, he lights a fire in the stove to warm the shelter and prepare a meal. The flickering flames cast a comforting glow across the wooden interior as the gentle warmth spreads through the space. He cooks a simple meal, savoring the quiet satisfaction of nourishment after a long day's hard work. This humble ritual marks the end of his labors, turning the shelter into a true home, a place of rest, comfort, and peace amidst the wilderness. His hard work and determination have truly paid off, as the house now stands tall and proud amidst the forest. Solid and resilient, it rises confidently among the trees, a testament to his skill, patience, and unwavering dedication. This sturdy shelter is more than just a structure. It's a symbol of perseverance and the fulfillment of his vision deep within the wilderness. Approaching the second house, he discovered a perfect location perched on a cliff, where an ancient tree stump jutted out prominently. Just below this natural foundation, a gentle stream flowed quietly, adding a soothing soundtrack to the serene setting. This unique location offers both shelter and the calming presence of water, inspiring him as he prepares to begin building once again. He begins carefully digging around the tree root, gradually expanding the hollow space within to create a more comfortable living area. With steady hands and focused effort, he removes soil and debris, transforming the natural cavity into a cozy shelter. Down by the gentle stream, he builds a crackling fire, carefully stacking dry wood to create a steady flame. The flickering light reflects on the flowing water, adding a sense of calm and comfort to the quiet riverside as he prepares for the next steps in his journey. By carefully selecting each stone, choosing ones that are flat and sturdy enough to serve as steps. Working methodically, he carries the stones one by one from the riverbank up the slope toward the shelter. At each spot, he carefully places the stones, adjusting their position to ensure they sit firmly and won't wobble underfoot. Gradually, the path takes shape as a series of well-defined steps, each one stable and securely anchored into the earth. This stone staircase transforms the steep, uneven hillside into a safe and accessible route, making it much easier to travel between the water below and the shelter above. The natural colors and textures of the stones blend harmoniously with the surrounding forest floor, creating a path that feels like a seamless extension of the landscape. He carefully selects small, sturdy stones, picking each one with an eye for shape and size to ensure they will fit well in the upcoming construction. After gathering enough stones, he mixes a fresh batch of mud, combining earth and water to create a thick, workable mortar. Inside the hollow of the tree root, he begins constructing a stone stove to warm his living space. Carefully arranging each stone, he shapes a sturdy firebox that will safely contain the flames and retain heat. With patience and precision, he fits the stones together to create a solid, well-insulated hearth. Once the firebox is complete, he installs a chimney pipe, connecting it securely to guide smoke safely out of the shelter. This thoughtful setup ensures a cozy, smoke-free environment inside, turning the hollow tree into a comfortable and functional home. After finishing the stove, he turns his attention to the walls of the shelter. Using a combination of carefully selected stones and the mud mixture he prepared earlier, he begins building up the walls around the hollow tree root. With deliberate care, he fills in all the gaps and openings, especially those remaining spaces where the natural shape of the tree leaves holes or cracks. By pressing stones firmly into the mud, he seals these gaps tightly, creating a solid, protective barrier. On the opposite side of the hollow, he begins planning the entryway. He envisions a simple yet functional door that blends seamlessly with the natural structure. To create this, he selects two flat, thin stones wide enough to cover the opening, yet light enough to be moved. He positions them side by side to serve as makeshift doors. He then used wooden braces. This clever design allows the stones to open and close smoothly, creating a practical entrance that is both protective and easy to use. He gathers fresh green moss from nearby rocks and tree trunks. Carefully presses the soft moss onto the outer walls of the house, covering the stones and mud with a living layer of camouflage. With the camouflage complete, he steps inside and lights the stove. Just below the edge of the stream, he begins arranging stones to form a flat, stable platform. Carefully selecting smooth, flat rocks, he places each one with precision, fitting them together like a natural puzzle. Layer by layer, he adjusts and levels the surface, ensuring the stones sit firmly and won't shift underfoot. The sound of the stream adds a calming rhythm as he works, bringing a quiet sense of harmony to the setting. On top of the newly constructed stone platform, he begins crafting a simple yet inviting set of wooden furniture. As he positions the furniture on the stone floor, the scene comes together beautifully. Surrounded by the gentle sounds of the stream and the rustling leaves, the space becomes a tranquil corner of rest and reflection. And so his second home is completed, closing this journey of his. Thank you for accompanying him all the way. If you like, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription to follow the next videos. Goodbye and see you again.